Hola, mi amigos. Justin from ShockNet. Sorry I couldn't be with you, and sorry for the English. I assure you my Spanish is much worse. We've been pretty busy over here, and I wanted to share a couple things with you, so we'll get right into it. As you may know, we work on ShockWallet and Lightning.Pub, which are a unique node and wallet combination, and I want to go over some of the new additions surrounding CLINK, which is a new protocol we created to help facilitate payments with Lightning using Nostr. So CLINK stands for Common Lightning Interface for Nostr keys. And what this allows is ad hoc payments using static offers, similar to LNURL and Bolt12, but with a lot of advantages. Namely, that within LNURL you have to set up like a firewall or SSL, all that kind of stuff for a web server for LNURL, which most people don't do, so they end up trusting the web server to issue their invoices. Nostr's key-based communication kind of obviates that trust. You can just use any open relay. And that also offers full bidirectional communication so that your node can report back to an external website or app, which gives it a lot of enhanced capabilities. Now, I say it's similar to Bolt12 in that it's traversing invoices, but it's not doing that over Lightning. Now, if you ask me, arbitrary data over a payments protocol is analogous to JPEGs on the blockchain, but Bolt12 uses onion messages also, so it's sort of like Tor. It's extremely unreliable because you have that bouncing all over hops as opposed to a static Nostr relay running on a server somewhere. It's very similar performance to what you'd expect from a regular website. This functionality is also not covered by NWC. NWC has a pre-shared secret that the user has to provision and hand over, so it's not useful for just issuing a static payment code that anybody can pay you to. Another nice thing about Nostr is it runs in the browser. That's the great thing about Nostr, is it's just JavaScript and throwing JSON around. So you can put this in any web page, even if it's just static files. You don't need to have a service, and it just works on the web. And there's also privacy applications to this too. By decoupling the transport from Lightning, that allows you to either have multiple nodes serving invoices. There are ephemeral keys that aren't tied to the identity, sort of like Bolt12 is tied to your Lightning node's identity. So it's more private in that regard. Works better in constrained networks, because there's a hell of a lot less bandwidth going back and forth, and also just works over regular SSL traffic. So you could be at the airport and it'll just work fine because you're not using any weird ports. Someone last week asked me about the privacy implications and asked about blinded paths, which Bolt12 is known for. Well, Bolt12 doesn't actually, blinded paths aren't unique to that. That's something that's just available. So we turned that on. So now, as of last week, we implemented blinded paths with our CLINK reference server, and we'll be shipping that live by the time you see this. So yeah, the most private static payment codes, and it works on LND. So it's not only offers, static offers that CLINK enables, but also debits. So that same type of static string can be used to request a payment. Now again, this is nice because there's no shared secret that a user has to provision and hand over. You can have a service that has a well-reputed key that you use that is known, and it just sends a request to the wallet. So it's that user-friendly, just accept. It's almost like a two-factor OAuth thing users are already accustomed to, where they just either accept or deny, and they can set different rules on that kind of stuff. And the protocol is very flexible, allows for things like variable pricing. It's really ideal for enabling subscriptions. There's actually even more to that. As you imagine, with Nostr, so much flexibility. We can also do a lot more business aligned things. So that offer management, creating those static offer codes, you can give a service an end manage key to allow it to create offers for you, because that might be useful in a marketplace where you have a bunch of different products, different prices. They trigger events on other things that are all very unique, so you can just delegate that out to a service if you decide to. It also is great for recurring budget requests. An app can request a budget that you don't have to pre-provision. You just accept or deny. Another feature of this is that it takes payer data in that your node can pipe out. I mentioned webhooks or external apps. You can take something like an email address, and once that offer is paid, fire that off to like your meeting coordinator or something like that to set up a meeting. We charge for a meeting. And again, the variable pricing lets that either be the subscriptions, services, or maybe you price something in fiat and that price updates from time to time. A whole lot of flexibility there. As far as the announcement side of this, I just want to announce that we dropped a new SDK for this, so it's super easy to just import it into your project and start connecting to Lightning nodes and getting invoices. Stacker News just integrated this in the last couple of weeks. As I mentioned, the blinded paths are available now. And if you want to play with this a little bit, you can learn more at CLINKme.dev. The SDK is up on NPM. And if you look at our Lightning.Pub website, you see some example snippets of code that you can use. Super simple to get started with. So that brings us to ShockWallet and Lightning.Pub. So again, ShockWallet and Lightning.Pub. Lightning.Pub is a nostr-based account system that wraps L&D, so it's a node. And we have developed a 1-minute install script. So you literally paste one line of code into like a Linux terminal. Within a minute, it downloads everything that needs and stands up and spits out an end profile for you to connect your wallet to it. No firewall setup, no SSL, no static IP stuff, just bouncing off of Nostr relays. That handles all your API traffic. The other nice thing about that is that you can administer right from the wallet remotely. You don't have to log into your node to do channels and stuff like that. That's built right into ShockWallet. It's kind of an Easter egg. You don't want your guests to see that, but there's a separate dashboard component in ShockWallet to manage your Lightning node over Nostr. Now, speaking of guests, because the connection string to your node is just an end profile, and ShockWallet is available as a web app, you can just send them a web link. And the web link with your end profile as a query parameter connects them directly to your node. Again, no firewall setup, DNS, SSL, Tor, none of that crap. Just an end profile, your users are connected. You can spin up a node, have people connected in under 2 minutes. On the announcement side of this is we just dropped a release into Google Play for the first time. It took us a long time to get into Google Play, but now ShockWallet is available in Google Play. It's been available in test flight for iOS, and of course you can use it on the web in a browser as a PWA. Another nice thing about using Nostr for this is you can have ShockWallet on your desktop or laptop and on your phone and have the same wallet on both devices because it's using Nostr to sync all of that data. And all these features, the offers, bringing guests in, to share in your Lightning liquidity, and you can even make fees off of that. Finally, it lets people generate revenue with Lightning. That's the key thing. So much focus has been spent on fake layer 2 wallets and all these kind of things that generate swap fees for consumers to tinker with it. But we see Lightning as a commerce tool, and we want people to start generating revenue with Lightning, not just incur cost and channel liquidity and swaps and things of that nature. As far as updates with ShockWallet, we've refreshed a whole bunch of screens based on feedback and the onboarding US. It's now straightforward to use your existing Nostr key. You can just plug your NSEC into ShockWallet, and that will be your key ring for connecting to nodes and all that sort of thing. And we've built a whole lot of nice tooling around those CLINK offers. You can see in the screenshot here, this is a specific offer for Booker Meeting. It's 5,000 sats. It collects your email, and then that fires off a webhook to Zoom or whatever API you need to trigger once a payment is made. Again, the announcement part of that is this is now available on Google Play. Okay, so enough slides. We'll see, can we actually get Lightning.Pub set up in under a minute, like I promised. Again, there's one line, very simple, wget, which is a script, pipes that to bash. This usually works under a minute, but I'm on a rural internet connection and there's some streaming, so it might make a liar out of me for the demo, but let's go. As you can see here, this is it's detecting the OS, it's downloading L&D from GitHub. The platform runs on Node.js, downloading and installing that, downloading Lightning.Pub, doing the npm install, getting services set up for auto start. Again, this will run on pretty much any Linux. You can even do it on Windows with Windows Subsystem for Linux. Raspberry Pi, an old laptop. It's neutrino based, so you don't need a lot of storage. You can even do it on like a $2-3 a month VPS. The last couple times I ran this, like I said, it was under a minute. This header sync, this is kind of a workaround to a Lightning LND bug, but still getting us under a minute here, I think. 80% header sync. Retrieving wallet. There we go. That means LND spinning up. And look at that. If we look at the timestamps, 22:39:57, 22:40, 56, 59 seconds we have this node set up. Now let's see how easy it is to connect the wallet to this. Alright, so we're in ShockWallet. This is just the web version. Generate a nostr key. Save that. If you already had a node key, you can obviously import that. And we're just going to paste that in profile in that we got from the output. Boom, connected. This is our Lightning node. So, less than a minute to set up the node, copy and paste one string. We are now connected to this node as an administrator. This will refresh in time here. I'll show you some customization stuff that we'll be making available. You can see here it's rendered the name of the node, and yeah, we got our Lightning wallet connected over Nostr. We can start receiving immediately. Ignore that chain error, we don't quite support that yet. But Lightning address powered by the offers through a bridge, so that is entirely trustless. Liquidity provider will help you bootstrap, so you can start receiving invoices right away, and your node will shop LSPs for the most cost-effective channel once you're able to do so. So this starts in a trusted state, but you can immediately start receiving. And as far as administering the node, here's that Easter egg I was telling you about. A couple clicks that gets you into this administrator-only area. A little cleanup to do here, obviously, but that's how quick and easy it is to stand up Lightning.Pub and connect to it with ShockWallet. I had a 59-second setup with a Linux terminal. Doesn't get much easier than that, but if that's not your thing, if you're terrified of the terminal, this has been the most requested thing from us, is to have this Lightning.Pub distributed in nodes like Umbrel and Start9. We are working on that. I wanted to have it ready for today. A little bit of polish still needed, though. Packaging is taking a little bit longer than I would have hoped, but we'll have this out in the next, I think, a week. What's going to be really nice about this is that we have a wizard-based UI, so you don't have to touch the command line. Start9 obviously just lets you open a control panel in the browser, and we have mostly got that completed. A little bit of polish to go. I can show that to you real quick. Alright, if we go back to that. Yeah, this is the wizard setup. So this lets you do things like customize the name, customize the avatar, customize the relay. I'm going to choose to use either automation or do your channels manually. Do you want to do manual backups or sync them to the relay? Then configure your settings from here. Connect some string QR. A little bit of polish to do here, but this is coming hopefully in the next week. Hope that excites you. Obviously, this is pretty powerful stuff. If you have any questions, thanks for listening. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. You can hit me on any of these socials here, or shock.network. I can link you to any of those. Thanks again for listening, and Dios te bendiga.